Can you believe it is September already? My kids are going back to school next week, and it is going to be the start of new routines and new schedules. Our school year is very, very full, and it just feels like running a marathon. In order to do it well without having a meltdown every day, I needed to get really set up and reorganized for everything to do with everything. Hey guys, thank you so much for being here. I'm Felicia from SweetGeorgia, and I love cleaning my house. No, really, I keep telling my friends that I wanted to take all of August off this year to clean my house and reset my brain. The thing is, business is constantly evolving and my kids are constantly growing and changing. Everything is constantly changing, and the systems I use to keep everything running have to change as well. As you know, September is back to school time, and there are things that I want to learn as well. Like right now, I am working on the crackle weave on the fanny loom at home, and I'm still learning how to use my circular sock knitting machine. I'm still learning how to use these flatbed knitting machines. I feel like I'm in a period of incubating a lot of the knowledge that I'm acquiring, and so it feels like I don't have a ton of things to say about things yet. In any case, I have been purging a ton of stuff and then resetting my space so that I just have 2 projects on the go. And by that, I don't mean projects like a sweater or a shawl knitting project or anything like that. I am trying to narrow down my focus to just a few things at a time. And I know this sounds really odd coming from me, because if you've been following me for some time, you'll probably know that I refer to myself as a multicraftual maker. And that means that I make a lot of different things. I love a lot of different crafts, and I have my hand in a lot of different aspects of the fiber arts, everything from the dyeing to the spinning, weaving, knitting, to whatever. And part of what I talk about is learning to make all of the things and then studying the entire spectrum of the fiber arts. However, I think one big thing that gets missed in all of this is that, yes, I encourage you to learn and do all of the things, but not all at the same time. A while back, I wrote out all of my thoughts on this idea of being a multicraftual maker, and it is actually available inside the School of SweetGeorgia as a workbook and as a mini workshop. And one of the big concepts in that idea of being a multicraftual maker is that, yes, you can do it all. And no, I don't suggest that you do it all at once. So trying to do all the things all at the same time is kind of a recipe for getting overwhelmed and burnt out. And I think that after months and months of researching double weave and overshot and crackle and CSM, flatbed knitting and knitting samples for Knit City and washing fleece and spinning for sock yarns, and I think I just need to wipe the slate clean and start fresh. So here's what I'm doing right now. I am purging a ton of yarn. I save a lot of yarn stash. I save a lot of stash yarn thinking that I will get to it and use it for things, but ultimately when I need to actually start a project, I always get new yarn. So I have new color preferences, new texture preferences, and plus my stash is mainly single skeins of yarn that are kind of difficult for me to mix and combine into other projects. So I am purging a ton of yarn and giving it to Charlotte at the studio. So if you don't already know Charlotte, she is amazing. She is our assistant production manager at the studio, and she also teaches crochet and felting and a number of other courses for us for the School of SweetGeorgia. In her spare time, she also knits and crochets like the wind, and her lunchtime knitting project is almost always a hat that she's knitting for charity. So I don't actually know how many hats Charlotte has knit, but I think she knits almost 1 hat a day, and then she gives them away to charity. So the way that she knits them so fast is that she actually holds 2 or 3 strands of yarns together to knit her hats. And so if you have like a lot of single skeins of yarn that you need to use up, this is kind of a great project to work on. So for me, I'm keeping a bunch of my very favorite single skeins for socks that I'm going to crank on the CSM. But the rest of it, I can actually give to Charlotte, and she could make really good use out of them. The second thing I did is I am purging a ton of books. I probably had about 8 full boxes of knitting books that they've been in boxes ever since we moved from our old studio on Kent Avenue about 3 years ago. They've all been in boxes. This is my knitting book library that I've wanted to put together for some time. But yeah, I haven't used any of those books in 3 years, so maybe I didn't need them. So I sorted all of my books, decided which ones I'm going to keep and which ones I can bring to the studio and which ones can be distributed and released back out into the world. The last thing I did is that I got 2 file boxes, like so. Now, each of these file boxes represents something that I'm focused on learning right now. So I have one box that is for crackle, overshot, summer and winter. And in that box, I'm putting all of the books and the printouts and the weaving drafts and all the samples that I'm making to learn those weave structures. And all of that is going to be the foundation for a course that I'm developing for next year about weaving blocks on 4 shafts. And it's going to be on the School of SweetGeorgia. The second box here is my machine knitting box. And so in here, I am putting all of my swatches, my notes, my patterns, anything to do with machine knitting. So you can see here, all of my swatches are in here. I'm labeling them, I'm making notes. I am doing a good job of doing my documentation. So in here, I'm keeping both the flatbed knitting stuff as well as the CSM stuff. So all of my circular sock knitting stuff is going in here as well. And you can see my very nerdy spreadsheet of all of the samples that I have knit on the flatbed knitting machine and at what tensions, what gauges it's producing, so that I can use this information to actually make sweaters in any case. So these 2 boxes are going to be my focus boxes. And my hope is that it's going to really help me visualize the fact that I'm concentrating on these very specific goals right now. Learning to weave blocks and learning to knit on knitting machines. Everything else needs to be filed away for some other time. Like quilting fabric needs to be away. Things that are not to do with the things that I'm working on need to be put away. I need to do this so that I don't let myself get overwhelmed by all of the stuff that I could be potentially making. Okay, so this is my big back to school reset. I am going to be fully reset, cleaned up, and ready to tackle the year ahead. I know that my kids are going to be learning a ton of new things this year, and I want to be ready to learn new things as well. If you're interested in hearing more thoughts about managing a creative life as a multicraftual maker, I encourage you to check out the workshop on the School of SweetGeorgia. Of course, on the school, we have many courses about the actual skills and techniques that you need to do the fiber arts and the crafts, but I also make a lot of content about how to navigate being a creative person and being a maker. Everything from organizing your physical space to organizing your time and your mental energy. There's a lot there. And right now we're doing our back to school promo. So we have code TBF22 that you can use, and that will get you 15% off your all access membership. This discount is going to be locked in for as long as you stay a member of the SOS. And then you get to join our amazing community and meet really super nice and encouraging makers and fiber artists. I've personally been very inspired and uplifted by the people that I've met in the school, and it's just become such a warm place to spend time. So again, the code is TBF22 and you can get 15% off your membership. I'd love to hear from you if any of this resonates with you. Let me know if you have a system for avoiding overwhelm when it comes to making things and living a creative life. I'd also love to hear suggestions on ways to manage my kids' creativity and all the things that they like to make and do as well. But that's a story for another time. Thanks so much for being here, and I will see you in the next one. All right, bye for now.